Hey guys, how you doing today? It's me, Kelly. So I have a quick video today. Um, I get a lot of questions about Crackle and how you can do it at home, whether you make it yourself or whatever. So I wanted to show something that I do in my mixed media quite often, and I've talked about it before, but I know I have a lot of new people. Hi guys, and I'm so excited. So I just want to kind of do it for you real quick and trying to move my camera. So if you can see this, this has a bunch of texture in it, and I bet you could tell what we do. Because the crackle is fun, and using crackle, it works. But this gives, this is a different kind of texture. So when you're doing mixed media, ATC cards or whatever, you can use this technique. You can do it on a big piece of paper like this, or on your ATC cards. You can do tons of them. And use colors that are neutral, because whatever you put on top, and I'll show you that in a second, whatever you put on top of the base color, you kind of want it to, to cover it. So I'm going to show you. So this is what I have. And I don't know how well you can see, but I have a heart here. My lighting's really off. I have a heart there and a heart here. Let's see if I turn it that way. So there is a lot of texture in here, and it's awesome. So let me just show you real quick. I'm just using a piece of watercolor paper. You use whatever you have. Printer paper, mixed media paper, Bristol, whatever. What is the other one that I like using a lot of? Scrapbook paper. I couldn't think of the name. So I'm going to just take you can use white, the same, but I'm going to take a light color. It's like an off-white. And I'm going to take my paintbrush. Now, the tip here is dry your paintbrush off. You don't want your paint to be too thin when you do this. A great thing that you can use for this as well is if you have paint sitting around that's kind of old. We all have paint that we've had for years and it sits around, and sometimes it thickens up, it just kind of gets goopy. This is great to use your goopy paint. Everybody cheer for goopy paint. Yay! Okay, so I just have that there, and I just have my dry, my fairly dry brush, and I'm gonna just paint this on, and you would paint it on as much, of your paper that you're gonna do. And you want it fairly thick, so I'm going to add a little bit more. And I'm doing it kind of layered, like I'm not just going to put everything down. I didn't gesso it. You can use gesso paper because you might even get a better look. Now what you do is, you can see the texture in here already. So you can texture it like this. Right? And I'll do that so you can see it once we put the stuff on it. Let's texture it like that. Or you could take your paintbrush and do things. You can stamp in it. You can do whatever you want. Okay, so we have some texture going there, and I'm going to put that in there. Now I'm going to dry this with my heat gun just to get it, quick. I'm not going to put my heat gun too close at first because you'll see in a second what I'm going to do, because I want everything kind of dry. Now, to add even more texture, take your heat gun or your hair dryer and hold it close. And what's going to happen is those thick pieces, the thick paint that's left underneath, it's going to bubble. And I'll show. I don't think you could see it. Let's see if I do it like this. I'm sure you've seen me do it millions of times. And you get a better bubble if you have better bubbling if you have wet paint, a lot of thick paint. It's bubbling a little bit. Try a little bit on this side. All right. Just want to make sure it's dry. All right, let me show you this before. All right, see all that texture in there? That's a good shot. There's a lot of texture in there. So now pick the color that you want to use. Now I like to do it, let's pick a color. Let's do dark purple. I like to just squirt it. Oh, and make a noise when I squirt it, because why not? And then take a wet paintbrush. And you want that watered down. And you can go very thin too if you want. It doesn't, yeah, it doesn't matter. There's no right or wrong. And then just take it over your paint. Okay, and I can see that texture. So what I'm going to do is take my paper towel and I'm going to lightly wipe it off. And I'm just going to show you this, and then you'll see. We'll put another coat on it. But look how it falls into the crevices of this. So think about putting your stamps in, your, take a plastic fork and run it through. You get all kinds of cool designs, and that could begin your background. Now, if you don't want to wipe it off and you want the, color still on there, just take it and run it through again. And it's going to just puddle. I'm not pushing down hard, but it's going to puddle in those little divots. And you can put more on it. Put more paint on if you want. You could dab it in. You can do whatever. But you want to let it dry because, let me show you. You want that paint to sit in there. So you don't want to put anything over it right now because the acrylic paint is permanent. So once it's dry, it won't come up. You know what I mean? It won't blend with other colors you put on there. So you kind of do that. Now, if you have a fixative, spray it on there. And then you can just go on top and paint. But you can do it anyway. It's not going to move. But look at, you just have some really great texture in the background for your mixed media and all. It doesn't take anything. It's very easy, very quick, and you don't have to have your molding paste, miling paste, whatever to do it. And then you just go to town and start gluing things on, painting, paint whatever you want. And it's just a little way to get a little faux texture in the back without having to go out and buy yourself any molding paste or miling paste. Now, I am going to have a recipe coming up, a video with it, of us making our own. So hopefully you guys will see that and use that. But yeah, it's just very fun. And like I said, you have some texture in there that you can definitely play with your mixed media. So I hope you guys liked it. It's just a real quick thing to do. A lot of fun. And I hope you guys have a great day. As always, be kind to each other. You never know what battle somebody else is fighting. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye, guys.